Designs of Stanley Carroll. Truly an individual on the cutting edge of fashion, designer Stanley Carroll has immersed himself in the business since he was involved with a second-hand clothing store in the early 80s called Rethreads.
People were calling me a designer probably 3-4 years before I thought of myself as a designer.
After a tailoring and dressmaking course at NAIT, Stanley Carroll's life as a designer just evolved, learning mostly by just doing it. Throughout the years, he's had some highs and lows. He's been designing his own line since the 1980s and even got into wholesaling across Canada. There was a time he became disillusioned about the business.
The art of compromise, I guess I had lost, and I was really working towards saying, well, this isn't that much fun anymore. I'm a businessman, I'm an accountant, I'm a strategist, I'm a marketer, but I'm rarely a fashion designer. And I basically had said from, well, I think it's time to walk away. This lady stopped me in the street. I couldn't recall seeing her before, and basically said from, well, aren't you Stanley Carroll? And I said, yeah. She said, well, I just must tell you that I bought this coat from you about 5 years ago, and it's still one of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe. And I think it's sort of, at that point in time, a number of things hit home to me, is that you actually can have an effect on how people feel if they put something on.
After realizing that the positives outweighed the negative parts of the fashion business, Stanley came to the conclusion that design was his destiny. A basic mission keeps it all in perspective.
The real focus and the real aim has to be that the next season has got to be better than this season. To try to find just that little bit of a nicer way to cut something, that sort of thing.
At the beginning of this year, Stanley relocated from his retail shop on White Avenue to the heart of downtown Edmonton. There, he focuses on clothing for men and women. His designs are definitely not unisex. Stanley Carroll creates two specific lines. An exploration of different cultures, Stanley plays with length, texture, moods. If you think you can put a label on Stanley's style, forget it. He has no rules.
The pants are short and the long, and they're wide and the narrow, and the jackets are long and short, or light and dark. It's just got to do, there's a certain feeling about them, a certain sexiness, a certain realness at the same time.
This season, the neighborhood jacket is one of Stanley Carroll's favorite looks.
Also, one thing you'll see me do with men's wear, which I hardly do with ladies' wear, is I use prints, checks, stripes, things like that.
According to Stanley Carroll, Spring-Summer '94 strives to combine glamour with casual ease for women. The dress is important.
I think 3/4 of a line is and will continue to be dresses, in all sorts of different shapes. But the whole essence of dressing in dresses, I think, is a modern way to go.
With an eye on tomorrow, Stanley Carroll admits he'd like to make a bigger name for himself on an international level, but only on his terms.
If the linen pant I cut right now is going to be available throughout the world, but it has to be in polyester, well, I'd rather just be available here. So I think that it has to be growth with very little compromise. And only time will tell us to see whether that will work or not.